Dr. Kareem, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you so much for all you do for this community. It's so appreciated. Oh,
Thank you so much, Nikki. Okay, everybody, you can hear me?
yeah.
Awesome. I believe Dr. Lynn McDonald, she just sent me a message that says she's on, so we can make her a co-host. That would be awesome. She is our special guest today. And I think most of you guys know my story. I just feel like I have been blessed so much, you guys, in life that I need to be a blessing to others. And so those words that you just shared about me, Nikki, that really speaks to my heart. And I am so grateful that authentic version, because I'm a mess. We're all a mess. And it doesn't matter. As long as we continue to show up and give God the praise, He allows us to do amazing things in our life, whether it be just showing up consistently and saying, have a blessed day in the chat, whether it be just smiling at someone, because that's the closest way to communicate and easiest way, whether it's just telling everyone, hey, I'm here just to listen. It's all part of the grand plan, and we are here to build relationships. That's what I love so much about what we do. And so, if you don't know anything about me, really quickly, I needed to get into this because of my own needs, my own health concerns. I have congestive heart failure that I was diagnosed with 6 years ago. And I was feeling down, and a good friend of mine, Haley Keating, she's on here. She said, hey, try this product out. And I did not want to try it, you guys. I was so skeptical. I said, this is not going to work. But let me do my due diligence out of respect for you. I'll check it out and come back and tell you all the reasons why it won't work. Surely enough, in a few days, I got my dad involved, who's a retired internal medicine doctor, and my brother, who is a emergency room doctor, and we chopped it up. We said, "Wow, there's so much research here, so much information that we need to try this for ourselves." And so happy to say that was back in November, and it is still working phenomenally for me and my family. I'm also, like I said, a father. We have three beautiful daughters, a husband, and I am a microbiologist. I actually went and got my master's in microbiology before I went and did my doctorate in pharmacy because I needed to show that I could actually handle the regimen, the coursework, and everything. And they said, we want to make sure that you're a good fit for us. So I graduated from Auburn University in Alabama, which is where I reside right now. And that is the brief version of my story. Now, time is precious, so we're going to get into this right away. What I'm going to do is, you guys, we're going to have a conversation with Dr. Lynn McDonald. We haven't had very many conversations, but we run in the same circles. I think I'm also supposed to say I'm a double diamond to whoever that means something to. And Lynn, who I'm about to introduce, is, I believe, a triple diamond, and she is in the UK. And I actually just don't know enough of her story to do justice, but I know that she has a servant leadership heart as well, and she's very passionate about what she does. So, Dr. Lynn, if you're there, I would love you to come on and share a little bit of your story. We're going to do these in like 3 minute to 5 minute sections, and then I'll come back in and ask the next question. Are you available to share?
Yes, I am indeed.
Okay, welcome. Thank you so much for saying yes, first and foremost, to coming on to this training. This is something we do for our team, and we've opened it up to the entire MPG community. And it's all the diamonds that came under Nikki that we just said we can add value to this community and provide a safe space and give people tools to achieve the rank of diamond and above because we're all founding members in this amazing legacy company that we're building. We are just getting started in formulation. And so I'm so grateful that you said yes. So, first question is please introduce yourself and let us know why you wanted to take a look at MPG. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to be here with you all. Hi. I've actually been out in the sun today in the north of Scotland and it's been really warm. So, excuse me if I'm a bit red in the face, but yes, I'm in Scotland. I went to Glasgow University to become a doctor in order to help people with their health. Um, worked as a general practitioner for quite a few years and actually ended up leaving medicine in 2012 due to my own burnout and stress, which probably was largely to do with seeing people not really get better. They were coming in and they were going away and then coming in and going away again. And I wasn't really feeling like I was making a huge difference to people's health, which was pretty soul destroying when that was actually the reason why I wanted to be a doctor. So, yeah, I'd been through a lot of hospital jobs in my training and, was well qualified and everything, but just something wasn't aligning anymore for me. And through no reason other than just my own how I was at the time is why I left my partnership, which I'd worked all my life to get to. But it wasn't a waste of work. It wasn't a waste of anything because I actually do now more than ever believe that God had a plan for my life and this was all part of it. And it's been just one big journey to get where we are here, which is all aligned with this amazing opportunity, which we're going to talk more about in a minute. But like literally, that is my background. After I left medicine in 2012, I had nothing to go to. I didn't have a plan B. Um, then I decided I wanted to train up in hypnotherapy, NLP, and EFT, which I did, but I never got a business going in that because I still wanted to help people. So that was, again, a valuable experience, but wasn't my final destination of a career path. I'd also, in my time as a GP, trained up in homeopathy, which is quite out there for someone who's learned all about, prescriptions and bog standard medical practice. So I did actually prescribe homeopathy to some of my NHS patients as well. So I was like interested in alternative ways to help people with their health. And then over the years, I think so like literally 10 years ago was when I actually found the industry or the concept of network marketing. And I was looking for an opportunity at the time. So I had my feelers out and it came into my path. And I thought I will just go for it. And many companies later, more companies than I can even remember the names of. Here I find myself with MPG, with all of you wonderful people. Everything that I've been through has been worth it to get to this point in time. And I'm grateful for the entire journey. But how I found MPG was it found me. Um, I had actually in October last year just joined another network marketing company thinking maybe this one will work out. Because I always knew that if you had the right product, the right company, the right timing, if everything aligned and you were happy with the whole thing, then it was gonna work at some point. So I'd never given up on the concept of this type of work. Um, and literally, my beautiful friend Leanne messaged me one day. Actually, I think it was the 29th of October. She messaged me to say, "Hey, Lynn, are you doing any networking just now?" And I was like, "Well, kind of, but not really." Bearing in mind, I just started a different company, but I wasn't like fully into it yet. I think I had recruited three people as team members and three as customers by that point. Um, so I said, "Show me what you've got." And she did. I liked it. And I thought, wow, this looks really, really interesting. And I was open and the more I learned about what the product actually did and how when we have the prolonged time going from fight and flight mode into rest and digest mode, I just thought, wow, who doesn't need that, right? That seems like a genius thing to do for people to help them with their health. I was just like, this is really, really fascinating. So I joined straight away. Like I didn't have to go away and think about it. It was like, boom, get me the product, I'm in. So that's how I found it pretty.
Wow. That's amazing. And so, see, there's a difference there, and a lot of people need to hear this. They need to understand that everyone doesn't have the same process. when they
Mm,
say yes to this. And so you already knew about the benefits of the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic autonomic nervous system.
yeah,
Whereas me personally, in pharmacy school, that's not something that we focus on. We focus on all the different mechanisms of action and all the different things that bind to the receptors and the different enzymes and pharmacokinetics. And we have a completely different field of study. And
yeah.
so for me, it's been a complete paradigm shift. But can you talk more about once you started to dive into the information, what you found, but and you want to keep this timed so that
Mm.
people could use this to their advantage, right? And so just briefly, can you discuss a little bit about Fix and then maybe the synergy it has with NZ-Fulvic, Emulin, and the new product that's coming out? What do you see with those? So let's start with Fix.
So with
What
Phix,
would most with Fix?
what the most important thing with Phix is it's literally just the bitter acids. It's not like a herbal remedy. It actually behaves more, in my opinion, more like a homeopathic remedy because it stimulates your whole body to go into rest and digest mode, therefore healing mode, when it's not normally in that mode so much of the time. So it's not homeopathic, it's not herbal, but it's something else, which is pretty unique, and you cannot find that anywhere else. No other hops extract does this. No other product does this to people. So I just thought that in itself was fascinating. And like you, when I was at university, pharmacology in particular was taught to us, and obviously because we become prescribers as doctors, and to
Mhm.
me, prescribing hadn't helped an awful lot of people, except in particular circumstances for me, right? So I was thinking by this time that prescribing was more like shifting things from one receptor to another, manipulating things in the body rather than actually getting the body to come in and go, right, we're going to sort this for sure this time, right? That is like a kind of like a weird description of what I'm trying to describe, but it just like didn't really make an awful lot of sense to me to continue down the prescribing route eventually, which is why I've left medicine clearly. But Fix itself, I think what is amazing about that product is today with our modern stressors, so with, mortgage to and actually, Kareem, you probably don't know this about me, but in October last year, I didn't know how I was going to continue paying my mortgage. And I didn't know how I was going to keep a car on the road at that point in time. This is how bad my finances had become over the years. I had always just prayed, patience and faith, the right thing will come along. And I will know when it comes along. It will be perfectly clear to me. So it was perfectly clear to me when I was shown Fix by Leanne, I really have to go down this route because I've never seen anything like this before. So I have now got unshakable belief in this product and in this opportunity that the more people on this product, the better place this world will be. That is genuinely my position on things. And it doesn't get much stronger than that. That you're helping co-create a better world by being aligned with all of you lovely people here who are from the heart through our souls here helping people to live a better life health wise, and if they want the opportunity wealth wise as well. And I can say hand on heart that works because I now do have a way to keep my car on the road and to keep a roof over my head.
Praise
So
God.
100%, I mean, it's the answer to my prayers. It really really is what I've always wanted to do, is to be genuinely helping people with their health. And genuinely now I not only get to do that but help them improve not just their physical but mental, emotional and spiritual health. Everything gets helped by this product in my opinion. you can't just fix one without other things being fixed. And for me, the work of network marketing has been a big learning curve for me. I think the work part of network marketing is actually the personal development part. The things that
Okay.
you do to work on yourself is going to be how much you can run with this opportunity. And it's well worth putting all your energy into improving yourself, improving your situation, and just running with it. I mean, I can't even, I mean, I'm so grateful. Every day I wake up, I'm like, it's another day. This is really great. Let's go and help some people, you know? So I just want that for everyone.
Absolutely. So it definitely sounds like we're going to transition at this point into the business side is where I hear you're going with
I'm
because
so
we
sorry.
yeah, we can talk about the health part and we can talk about how Fix is amazing to stimulate the vagus nerve. We could talk about how NZ-Fulvic is going to pull out the heavy metals and help us to absorb all the different things. We can talk about Emulin 5 and it being a sugar carbohydrate, a sugar chaperone, and how that's going to be absolutely amazing when you add that. And we can talk about Fit and
Yeah.
that's coming out. And I just wanted to just because we haven't had to have a conversation about fit. What are your thoughts before we go into the building aspect? Because that's what everyone on this call, they're all members, they're all ISRs, or they're about to be if someone shares this replay with them.
Mm.
And from a business standpoint, before we get there, what do you see happening when fit comes into this market?
Right. Um,
So, so if I didn't say that question clearly, I'm trying to pull out just the synergy, and I can talk about it if you would like, but I would, since we have you here as a special guest, the synergy of fit and fix specifically, and how that's going to be something truly game changing and amazing for everyone.
yeah, so with regards to the synergy, I think we've got in Fix, we've got something that encourages the body to bring into homeostasis or more balance, correctness for ourselves, hormones, um, oh my goodness, to tackle visceral fat with all the health benefits that will bring. You know, the studies have shown that we can actually increase the thermogenesis in the brown adipose tissue based on Fix alone. But the very fact that it diverts the blood flow to all of our major organs inside of our body where it encourages better functioning of the liver, the kidneys, the pancreas, the gallbladder, everything to do with digestion and absorption of nutrients and getting that into the body. And then when you bring in a product that specifically is going to be helping against subcutaneous fat in particular, that's going to help the people even more who have some weight to lose because their health has not been optimal over a long period of time. And I, honest to God, believe that being overweight for whatever reason, there's some kind of dis-ease process that has happened to that person, something that's not right that needs fixed. So we've got a product that helps the body fix and repair itself for prolonged amounts of time. And we've now got something additional in with that that can particularly help people who have too much subcutaneous fat and want to specifically lose that. So it's going to give people more energy as well. Um, I also believe increased fat burning helps the brain function more. So I think the two things together, there's going to be, like you say, a synergistic effect for those people who have excess fat to burn.
Yeah, I agree. And just can you do you are you familiar with the importance of increasing your basal metabolic rate or your resting metabolic rate and why that's beneficial? Because a lot of people don't understand what that even is.
Mm.
And do you just have a simple definition of what can happen if we increase our resting metabolic rates by 30%
A
every
lot.
day? And why is that important?
Yeah, so for those of us who have, like I say, extra subcutaneous fat, and it's okay to have some, we need a little bit of the superficial, but the deep stuff, the jiggly stuff, increasing the resting metabolic rate is going to help that burn off faster or more than it would. There's a lot of people who have like I would describe as a sluggish metabolism for whatever reason. Yo-yo dieting, up and down, hormones off balance, thyroid, whatever issues they have, for some reason their base metabolic rate is not where it should be. And by helping the hormones and by helping actually with a product that specifically raises our metabolic rate, that's going to do a lot of people a lot of good, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I just think that it's important that people understand that the human body is efficient at utilizing energy, but
Yeah.
that resting metabolic rate, when it's out of balance,
Mm.
and it's lowered, what people think is that if you don't if you don't do anything, if you're just sitting on the couch all day, then you're going to have a lower metabolic rate. But if you do any of those fad diets and you start to starve yourself,
Mhm.
you think that they can lose weight. But what happens is that resting metabolic rate actually goes down.
Yes.
It doesn't increase. So when you're not eating daily, when you're not doing at least 10 to 30 minutes of walking or something physical activity, your body thinks that you're going through some type of a famine or starvation
Yeah.
mode, and it holds on to those fat stores.
It will.
And
It will work
so,
really hard to do
mhm,
that. It really will pull out all the stops to keep your
mhm,
weight where it is. It will
correct.
change everything. So, for example, if you have someone who is saying to themselves, right, I'm clearly eating too much, so I'm going to go on a starvation diet now because we all know that if you really undereat, you're going to lose weight, right? The body then will do whatever it can do to slow down the metabolism so that your starvation diet will work to a degree, but then as soon as you start eating properly again, your weight's going to go back up again because your body's like, oh my goodness, now we can actually pile on the weight again. So
That's right.
people, particularly who have been up and down with their weight for a long period of time, I think this product's going to be an absolute godsend because it will give them a chance to lose some of that excess fat while, if they're on fix at the same time, other things are being helped with their hormones or whatever it was that was getting them into that position in the first place. And some of it is stress. In fact, a lot of it is stress. Too raised
Absolutely.
cortisol for too long, we know that actually you're gonna, because your body's actually thinking that you're in a state where you might starve, then your body's going to hold on to excess weight. It's going to disrupt your insulin. Um, what's the
Yep.
word?
Insulin sensitivity,
That's
insulin
the one. Yeah.
resistance. Yeah.
Cortisol's
So,
related to that. So again, with the fix, putting you from too much fight and flight mode into rest and digest mode, you're sorting some of that. And you've also got another product, the Fit, which is going to help you raise your metabolic rate at the same time.
absolutely. So we have a 1-2 combo that has never been seen before. It's exclusive here at MPG. We have all the rights, we have the IP, we have the manufacturing. That is so important for people to understand this moment in time. So let's transition now to more of the business side. So when you first came into this, you had some networking experience, and me on the opposite end of it, I had very little networking experience. And so what I want to talk about now is um, when did it click in your mind that, you know what, I can really do this? because it aligns with everything. And I want to be a diamond and above. Can you talk to us about the mindset about I want to get to the higher level of this company, and this is what I need to do?
Yeah, so it actually wasn't immediate. And the reason why was it took me about a week to get the product in the first place. And I've been in so many MLMs in the past that I can't run at something until I know it works for me first. So I did want some personal product experience first of all. And initially, it was probably a weekend that actually Leanne sent me some across the pond because it was taking quite a while for a product to be in the UK at the time. So I was very grateful to her. And she said to me, Lynn, probably the first thing you'll be noticing is deeper sleep and wild dreams. And sure enough, she was right. I was
Mhm.
like, oh my goodness, exactly as she said, wild dreams. That's amazing. Um, Very quickly for me, with my history of having ADHD, which was probably part of the reason why I did no longer align with the standard medical system any longer. Um, and I didn't even know I had that until a couple of years ago, but um, I noticed that my mind was much quieter. What can I say that's compliant? Um, I
It's
didn't,
supported. We can say it
yeah,
supports.
I didn't have
Mhm.
five different conversations going on in my head anymore, like music playing as well as something else happening, and then two different conversations and planning dinner wasn't happening in my head anymore. I had more energy to get on with things during my day and less procrastination. That was huge. And I had a clearer mind, but while feeling very zen in myself. That's the best I can describe it. And that has been every single day, taking it once, twice a day, because I'm greedy that way. I'm like, oh, get me in rest and digest mode more of the time, not less of the time. So, um, big difference for me. Also, various physical things changing about myself as well that I can only put down to that must be because I'm spending more of the time in rest and digest mode. Really, really happy. Um, so I'm thinking, well, if it's doing that for me, that's solid proof that this is a good thing, right? So I can really shout this from the rooftop. So in the middle of November was when I really started telling a few people about this, and they were like, oh, that seems exciting. So they were joining. By the end of November, on the last day, I think I got to platinum. And then suddenly, on the very last day of November, four people joined me that morning. And I was like, oh my goodness, if I've had that, I can maybe make Sapphire by the end of this day. So that I just kept going and boom, Sapphire happened on the last day of November. So then I was like, when I think, this can help a lot of people, I am going to shout it more from the rooftops, and things were going great. So I decided to really go at it. And I thought, well, I'll just keep going. And how I look at things now is probably not standard. Um, I don't like setting myself a goal or a target because I think, well, what if things can happen faster than that? So if I'd set myself a target of I'll be diamond by next June, and I'm capable of being diamond before that, I've put my own limit on things. So my strategy is not to actually do vision boards and goal setting and things like that. My strategy is just to go in the flow and do things as fast as I can, but in alignment so that things are easy and they're coming to me. People are coming to me rather than me forcing myself to do stuff. I can't even explain that. It's more of a flow state situation. And I do believe the product helps me get more into flow state because I'm not having so much fear happening. The fight and flight is not so happening. So I can actually get in that state of going, right, now I'm in the mood for messaging a whole bunch of people or doing this creative thing online or whatever it is I feel in the moment, which I've more come to the opinion that you can't do anything about past events except have the learning experience from them. And you can't do anything about the future. You can't pivot anything in the future, but you can pivot whatever you like in the moment. In this moment now, this is actually all we have. And that's why it's called the present. This is our gift, is our moment right now. So it's a joy to be able to share that with you, all of you, because we're here co-creating. It's probably sounding really airy-fairy, but I definitely believe this is God's plan for my life. No one else
Yeah.
could come up with a plan like this. I couldn't. I've tried to plan my own things. It's kind of always kind of like been a disappointment, really. Um, if
No,
I
no.
if I was to go and say, right, I'm going to do this, 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 it's maybe not as useful as me just trusting in the moment that whatever God's plan is for me, that's going to be the best thing that's going to happen right now. So maybe someone will pop into my head and I'll be like, oh, I must message that person. I don't know why they just popped into my head, but usually they're like, oh, I was just thinking about you. And that's how I like to conduct my business, which is probably not your standard network marketing information. And I've been in enough companies to know what the standard teachings are. Hope that
Right.
makes sense.
So what we try to do here is, give to, that's amazing that you're able to do that, where you're able to just work in the flow and allow the spirit to kind of move you and get the activity going. But if you were to say on a typical day, what
Mm.
the money making activities look like, the things that you get some type of results from, because we want people to walk away with some actions that they can actually start to implement if they align with the way that you believe, because there are a lot of people, we're all different
Yeah.
and individual results will vary, but what would you say a typical day? Do you prospect? Do you peak, expose, follow up, and do you do that? Do you do all of that?
Yeah.
How do you
I
do that?
did used to. So I've come from a place of used to
Okay.
make sure that I did 10 minutes of commenting and love hearting on people's Facebook posts in particular, because I'm a big fan of Facebook and growing your following. And
Okay.
I've done that over 10 years. So people might look at my Facebook and think, oh, it's okay for her because she's got over 9,000 followers. I didn't always have that. I started with 250 friends on my Facebook 10 years ago. And having been in so much networking, I've grown that by, if a hot tip would be the compound effect. If people haven't read that book, it's really, really useful because when I look back over the 10 years, I'm like, every little thing I've done over the last 10 years has counted for now. Because even some people that I was prospecting out and about in, restaurants or whatever have joined me now in this thing here from 10 years ago, right? And I've learned a lot of different network marketing, contact marketing when you're out and about and you're speaking to people at checkouts or in restaurants or whatever. Done a lot of that. And so everything counts towards now. So growing your social media following over time, what I like to do, and I do teach my team this, is 10 minutes every single day of actively love hearting because that boosts the algorithms. Liking doesn't, love hearting does. And at least a 5 word comment on as many as your friends' things as you can. That just keeps you noticeable by the algorithms. And then 10 minutes of reaching out and sending friend requests. So they could be the Facebook friend requests, friend suggestions, or just people that are mutual friends or whatever. Just send a whole bunch of friend requests. Don't do anything after that with those people. They're just your new friend requests that you've sent out. It doesn't matter if people accept or not. You're not about that. You're just about doing the activity. Then 10 minutes of actually reaching out to people and saying, hey, I don't know if you've ever heard of the vagus nerve, but I've been looking into that recently and it's fascinating. Do you know anything about it? Starting a conversation like that, or hey, how are you doing recently? I haven't heard from you for ages, just wondering how you are. And then getting a conversation, but actively trying with already friends to start getting a relationship of discussion going of some sort with a view, and this would be the money making stuff, is with a view to trying to get them the information about Phix. If the flow goes that way. And I'm very much, I don't do any scripts. I think there's a really, it's an art to network marketing. It's an art form. It's not a scripted thing. It's not a one size fits all. Every person is unique. And I do believe we are building relationships here, and that is the most important thing. So, for example, if you've got someone who you're in a conversation with and you've told them that you've got this amazing product and would they like the information, it's okay if they don't want it. If they say no thanks, it's okay. You're not going to keep going, oh, but it's really good, because at that point they're not interested and that's fine. I am of the opinion that as long as they're still asking you questions about it, they are interested. So I will
Okay.
I will be saying to them, here, if they want the information, I will be inviting them to Nikki's Facebook group. Go and have a look in there. It's amazing. Lots of people are excited, right? I'll be sending them, and I did create a 5 minute piquing interest, not so much piquing interest, but a brief description of Phix. And I say I made this short video for my team to share because I do have a team. Would you like to see that? Yeah, send it over. And then if they want the longer one that I did with Terry, I'll send that. And if they want more, I'll send your one or whatever. But I'm like using tools that are already created. And then at the same time, I'm hoping that I'm teaching them the art of network marketing just because they're having it done to them, right? In that moment, they're like, oh my goodness, if she's doing this and this tool's already created, and she says there's a business opportunity, maybe I could do this because I'm sure I could, initiate a chat and then ask if they're interested in something like the vagus nerve and then, send them a video that someone else has made. So you're kind of teaching as you're reaching out, which is, I think, really helpful. And I think a lot of people miss the opportunity to do that. I think, but we're all on a learning curve. And I'm telling you
Mhm.
this, it's taken me 10 years to refine things so that I kind of like, I'm confident reaching out to people. And I think the most important thing that new people can do is just be confident knowing that it's a good idea to reach out to people. This is a good idea. This is a great product. This is a good team. This is a good opportunity. So, not to hold yourself back through anything in your mind that's thinking, um, don't let fear hold you back.
Yeah.
Fear of
Self-limiting
yeah,
beliefs.
what fear of what people will think about you doesn't matter. Look at me. I didn't have this opportunity and now I do, and my life has changed and I'm helping other people. It was going to be worth Leanne telling 50 other people for this one person to fall into her team. She's delighted she told me about it, but she has had no's and knockbacks from other people and she's not put off. She keeps going, right? And that's what we do.
Can
Um,
I interject here for a second?
yeah,
Yes.
Okay, sorry. What I love that I'm hearing you say that I have taught in this industry for so long is I ask people to stop and think. If they can turn around and do what you just did, there'll be duplication. And what I'm hearing you say is that I love is that what I do, people can think back and go, oh, Lynn made that pretty simple and easy for me to do. She just was a human. I could do that with other people. And I think
yeah,
in this industry, sometimes we get caught up in all the complicated things that there's got to be something more here. There's got to be something more we got to do here. But there's just not. And I love what you're saying because it keeps it simple. You're just putting your personality into it and how you have developed into it. And everybody can do that. Everybody can put their own personality into it. They can put their
Yes.
own into it. And this industry is something that people always like, well, they want to know the exact science. But what I love that you're saying today is it's me. I'm
Yeah.
just being a human. I'm
Yes.
just being human with people.
And from the heart.
Yeah,
And
from the heart.
people can tell when you're coming from the heart, and they can tell when you're
Yeah,
not. And
yeah,
who are they going to trust? They're going
yeah.
to trust the person that's heart is going out to them.
Can I ask you one more? Can I ask you a question? If you
Yeah.
could do something different today, what I heard you say earlier is you had to have an experience with the product. And what we know now watching Fix is that some people's experience comes a month, 2 months, 3 months in, 4 months in. That's when their experience comes.
Yeah.
If you could do it differently today, would you share earlier than waiting? I know your results came quickly, but for
Yeah.
somebody like me, I literally, when I saw the sleep results, I was super excited because I don't sleep very well. But my sleep took a few months. But I
Right.
chose to share anyways. I did have other
Yeah.
things that were great for me, but
Yeah.
the sleep was what I really like. The fat loss and the sleep to me were the two things that I wanted. Would you do it differently or do you train your team differently today? Because we just know that the product
Yeah.
works, but you might not have an experience at the very
Yeah.
beginning.
I find that when I say I waited for my own results, I actually that's kind of not entirely accurate. Looking back, I actually sold the product on the actually the night that I joined because I was chatting with
Mm,
another friend. I was like, "Oh my God, I just found something that looks amazing." And you can't
okay.
really run with excitement straight away. And I'm like, "I haven't even tried it yet, but you have to look at this, right?" Don't it's like a don't take it from me, take it from all these other people situation that there's a lot of hype and excitement about this product, and I'm like, I can't wait to get mine. So you can, and I do actively encourage folk that are like, I've just ordered something and I can't wait for it to arrive. I'll be, stalking the postman and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely, you can run with the excitement that you have from other people. I'm just saying I didn't run at it huge
Yeah.
until I was
Okay.
on it myself. And in the first few days, I did get results quick. I think I've got a few people in my team who started running at it huge once they were noticing results themselves. And I can understand why there's a difference between that person and the person who's not getting immediate subjective or objective results for themselves. And I think that what I know now, as opposed to 6 months ago, having seen an awful lot more people on the product, I'm like, we've got to just bear with this. Like, literally, I agree with Dr. Ben Bowers, who is amazing. And he says, when people ask him, how long should I stay on this product? He's like, well, how long do you want the anti-aging effects for? It's like
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
It
I
is
love
like
the way he
that.
puts that.
Mm.
Yes. And there's so much going on the inside that we do not know. It's like the hidden benefits that people can't even tell is happening yet. So, in my opinion, it's always a good idea for people to spend more time in rest and digest mode, and that's hand on heart what I believe. So, I do encourage people to from my team, I will always say if you've got someone you're speaking to and you don't know what to say and you're brand new, just put them in a three-way chat with me or whatever, because you're new. You
Yes.
can just say,
That's
I'm
the
just new
training
at this.
tomorrow. That's my training tomorrow. I love it.
It's,
Awesome.
I'm not sure. I've just joined this new thing. I have no idea what I'm talking about. This is still coming from the heart, but I thought of you, right? And if I get stuck, because obviously you'll have questions, I'll put you in a group chat with someone who knows more about it than I do, because they've been in
Yeah.
it long.
That was my I love that. That was my call to Haley. I signed up for it And Haley's like, she's my running partner and everything that we do. I'm like, I don't know what I just bought, but it's a little blue thing and it goes in a cup and it's a drink, but it looks phenomenal and amazing. Like, where's
Yeah.
your credit card? You're going to do this with me. That's how simple it can be,
Yeah.
Same,
when you're
same.
starting.
I have
Yep.
When I
another.
reached,
I,
yeah,
I,
when I reached out to Uncle Les, it was just about, listen, I'm going on a health journey. This seems like it's going to be amazing. I've done the research, as much as I can, but we don't know what it is until we see it from the inside. And that was all that it took. And it was from a place of genuine and authentic love for my brother, and when you do that, people feel that. And so many people say, yeah, of course I'll go on a health journey with you. And today
Yep.
we've learned that we not only, when you really care about someone, you don't just ask them about the health part. Now that we understand that we have a purity of purpose in this company and the vision of the company, we're also asking the question, and while I'm fixing my health, I also need to fix my wealth as well. And so we're being bold enough. We now have the confidence to ask both questions at the same time because everyone wants to get healthier. That's a given. If they're honest, the answer is always yes to do you want to be healthier? And also, everyone wants to get wealthier. Everyone needs both. And so it's our responsibility to make sure that we give them that in the very beginning. At this point, you guys, I actually have to go pick up my girls from school, and I'm going to ask the diamonds for just the last 10 minutes here if they can jump in and
Yep.
raise their hands and ask any questions. I'll still be on. But thank you so much, Dr. Lynn. I really appreciate you coming on today. And let's keep going with a few more questions if you're up for it. Thank
Yep.
you.
Darla, thank you, Dr. Cream, so much. Darla has her
Thank
hand
you.
up. Thanks,
yes,
Darla.
I'm
Thank you.
doing good at learning to follow rules and not be an interrupter. It's really hard because I'm such an interrupter. Wait, I want to get in right there. Okay. You guys, I know what's going through a lot of your minds. You're saying, well, they're doctors. Of course, people are going to join them because they're doctors. They're doctors. I want to show you how I am going to prospect with this call. Okay. So when the doctors are speaking, you take a picture, okay? I'm just taking a picture. Now, you can use a picture or you cannot use a picture. And I'm saying to people, listen, I just got off a Zoom with doctors that were in the Western medicine space that have crossed over, that are now promoting natural health as naturopaths with a product that is creating phenomenal results. You have got to put your eyes on this. Plain and simple. That's
Yes.
that's an opening door because when you let your mind give you an excuse like, oh, they're doctors, of course they can sign people up. You just blocked the forward motion to overcome to see how to use it. Okay? I want you guys, she spoke on mindset and she spoke on belief, on how it's airy fairy and you don't really understand it till you do. That's what she's referring to. So figure out the way to use something to open a door to go follow up with somebody or to go open a new door with someone. Oh my gosh, you've got to put your eyes on this product. Literally, I just got off a Zoom this morning with hundreds of people on it, with two doctors that are in the Western medicine world that are now crossing over and promoting a natural health supplement that is giving them better results than they could have gotten in the Western world. You've got to put your eyes on this.
Yeah. And that's the God's honest truth of the matter. As long as you're being authentic, no one can argue with this. We have to watch with compliance, but there's nothing about what you suggested, Darla, that was non-compliant in that whatsoever. Nothing. And it's lovely to be in this space where I can personally say, hand on heart, I love this way more than what I used to do. I would never want to go back because why would I want to leave this space now? I wouldn't. This is so much better than anything I've done before. And if you guys want to borrow my belief, take it. I've got tons more to give out. Tons. So yeah, I love that. Thank you. That's really, really helpful.
You guys, it's not the words, it's the way.
Yes.
You can't say the wrong thing to the right person when you're speaking from your heart. Okay? What is it that you feel? What is it that's, oh, there goes the mogs. How do you feel right now? Like, how do you feel? That's the conversation that you're having. You can even say, listen, I cannot explain what I want to say to you, but you have to trust me on something, and you need to put your eyes on this. I need you to stop and drop life right now for 5 minutes and look at something because I have just witnessed and heard something that you've got to know about. See, I just changed what I said, but the posture was the same. You would
Yeah.
still give me the same time, and I'm still doing the same thing, which is connecting with you. Okay. And you're doing it from a voice memo instead of a text. And you're just fumbling through your words.
Yeah.
It's what they hear, it's what they feel. Listen, I don't even know how to put the words together to tell you what it is that I'm experiencing right now, but you need to put your eyes on something. I am learning about something that is blowing my mind. Like doctors from the Western medicine world crossing over from their practice to holistic health and naturopath world. See how I'm stumbling? I'm stumbling. I'm stumbling. I can't even find the words. But how do I feel? What is my energy that I'm transferring to you? The moral of the story is you've got to stop and give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Can you give me 5 minutes right now? Get them to say yes. Can you give me 5 minutes right now? Matter of fact, I don't even know when you're going to get this voice message, but when you get this voice message, give this 5 minutes and watch this. You've got to watch this. You know, that it's the posture.
Totally.
Posture,
Trez.
key, posture, and everybody on this call and everyone that watches it later has every reason in the world to have amazing, incredible posture in this business with what we have here. There's nothing like it.
Trez.
Hi,
One more question.
hi,
We'll take one more. Yeah.
and I'm gonna just put my camera on really quick because even though I'm in my closet. Okay, so I just want to say, Dr. Lynn, that was absolutely phenomenal. And then I just want to highlight a few things that I was listening as she was sharing. That I would just want to make sure it lands on everybody's ears. I feel like they're the things that have to be heard over and over and over again. So she said, 10 years of refinement, like that needs to sink in with every single person. 10 years of refinement. Like just take it in. And then she said, I don't use scripts, just like what Darla is just hitting on. And like everyone is always, what do you say? What did you say? What did you say? And I watch her even in the comment thread, I see as she's sharing and people are still asking, but what exact link did you send? And when, like, you just have to, like, you got to find a way to bring it in here. Um, find a way to bring it in here and not get so caught up on these little intricacies because those things actually don't matter.
Yeah.
And then highlight, she started with 250 friends on Facebook. Almost every single person, average person who's never built a business on social media has approximately 200 friends on Facebook. That's what I used to have too. I used to go through and actually delete people if I didn't talk to them regularly. So you just change the way you do this, and it does not happen in a week. It doesn't happen in a month. So I just want everybody to like embrace that because there's no secret sauce. She's sharing these, everybody's sharing all these basic things. And yeah, I just wanted to highlight those points because that was a really amazing call.
Thank
I
you.
love that, Trez. Those three things are, yeah, I'm so glad you brought those to the forefront because that is truly what I heard at this call too. It's coming from here. She started like all of us started. And I'm going to give you guys a little secret. So Dr. Lynn and I, when she was running, well, when the month that she could hit diamond,
Yeah.
just like everybody else, she had doubts. And her and I talked about it. And I just said, I believe in you. You're going to do this. It's going to happen. We are not on the same team, right? I want you to hear this too. Like you can encourage and inspire and cheer for anybody. But, you know, she's a doctor. She also had those doubts, but she worked through them. She pushed through them. And we got to celebrate her being diamond that month, which then all of a sudden I wake up one day and she's triple diamond. I'm like, what the heck just happened? How did you just hit triple diamond? So
Oh,
it's been
thank
such a
you.
privilege to have you on here. Um, you have no idea, you know, just your servant heart, your leadership coming in to a team mostly that's not yours, but willing um to build into other people and build into the community and to give your wisdom, your knowledge. and your heart is really what I heard here today, was your heart for
Thank
the
you.
people, your heart of what you do. It's in here. And so we really appreciate it. We love you, Dr. Lynn. We're so excited to have you as part of this community.